with that. I said, just get me to Memorial Hermann. I'm sick. I've got to go in the hospital. And we went by downtown. We went by the Texas Medical Center hospitals again and again and again. And for some reason, I knew that we had to go to Memorial Hermann. And by this end, that was when Gessler was all tore up and they were building a new Memorial Hermann Hospital, and I still can't believe it, but we made every light. I cannot believe this, everything that happened as it did. You know, my wife got us to the spot, and I was literally 10 foot from where I needed to go. So by this time, I staggered out of the car, the driver's side, and the pain is so bad that I literally was vomiting. I mean, it was just so terrible, and I knew something was just so serious wrong. My wife was at her end. You know, she didn't know what to do. And the last thing I remember was there was a receptionist that should come through the emergency room doors. And I remember telling her that I need to get in right this minute to see somebody, or I'm going to die right in front of you. That's the last thing I remembered. Now, the next things were Dee and my wife, because I wasn't there. After a couple hours, because she called out friends and family and everybody to get them down there. After a couple hours, a surgeon came out, and he gave my wife bad news. And he said, your husband has a cerebral hemorrhage. People don't usually live from this. And luckily, my blood in my brain had clotted, and I had a 4-centimeter clot in my brain. And he just kept giving my wife bad news to worse news. I mean, you know, if he possibly lives through this, there's no way he's going to be paralyzed as a vegetable. He's never going to be able to walk, talk, or anything. I mean, just prepare for the worst. We'll do the best we can do. And then my wife, then my family and friends and everybody started to show up. It had now gotten after about 12 o'clock on October 26th. So it was the pretty wee hours of the morning. And my wife got everybody together, and they prayed. And they prayed, Lord, save him. A couple hours later, the surgeon comes out, talks to my wife. Says, and this is exactly what he said. He said, it's a miracle. He's alive. I said, we can't believe it. He's alive. And this is what the surgeon told her. He said, he went up and talked to God, and he came back. He's alive. Now let me tell you what happened to me during that time. The last thing I remember, of course, was telling the receptionist I was going to die in front of her, until all of a sudden, it seemed like I was laying on my back, probably if we tried to get the timeline, probably about the same time as my wife was outside praying with her friends, family. It seemed like I was laying on my back, and all of a sudden I heard, everything's going to be all right. I mean, you know, it was like I was arguing at that point in my brain. I said, how could everything be all right? I've been married at this point to my wife for 25 years. Of course, I've done all the financial things and income tax and everything. She's not going to know what's going on with any of this stuff. I got boy-girl twins that are seniors in high school. They're going to go off to college in their life. And, you know, and I'm only 45 years old. How could I possibly die? All of a sudden, again, I hear, Curtis, everything's going to be all right. But I'm starting to get it. And I thought, and I remember thinking these exact words. I remember thinking, I'm dead. And I was wrong. How am I going to talk myself out of this one? I remember exactly in my brain thinking that. And then all of a sudden, Curtis, Everything's going to be all right. And I want to read, it's Philippians 4-7, because this is what happened to me. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. After I heard for the third time, Curtis, everything's going to be all right, a peace came over me. And I know everybody in this room, you've had a great day. You know, a birth of a child, or a promotion, or a marriage, or if it's just a great day. And the last thing you said before you went to sleep was, Lord, thank you, it was a great day. And you felt at peace. I have experienced that a couple times in my life. The only way I can experience this that happened to me was that it was 1,000 times more than that. It seemed like it went on for 10 minutes, that I was in this incredible peace. At the end of it all, I knew. I said, that was God. From the surgery, I got out of the hospital, or the Memorial Hermann, I went into the intensive care. I was in that for 9 days. I was in intensive care. Basically, all they're doing is keeping you alive. I mean, that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep you alive. I don't remember a great deal of what was going on in that. I do remember something that was really neat, and I tried to get it across to my wife and kids. At that time, it was pretty hard. But one thing that's really cool is inside every person. I call it God. It's your will to live. I call it the light. It's in each and every one of you. And in the past, I've even called it stubbornness. You know, I'm just a little bit too stubborn. And I did relish in this small fact. The surgeon and the doctors and the nurses would come up to me, and you got to understand at that point, you know, I can not even move. My eyes are going in different directions. The medical professionals would look me in the eye. They'd look at me and they'd go, goodness, he's alive. They'd call over their friends. They'd say, look at this. This guy's alive.